everybody, from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. We bid you welcome to Reds baseball. The Reds and the Phillies close out this three-game series with each club having won one of the first two ball games. Cincinnati winning 7-6 last night. They'll be sending Tom Seaver to the mound. The Phillies will go with right-hander Larry Christensen. We'll be back to take a look at the starting lineups in just a moment. If you're ready now, the starting lineups tonight for the Cincinnati Reds, leading off and playing center field, will be Dave Collins. Batting second, the second baseman, Junior Kennedy. Ken Griffey will play right field and bat third. Hitting fourth in left field, George Foster. Batting number 5 at first base, Dan Dreesen. Hitting sixth, the third baseman, Ray Knight. Johnny Bench will catch and bat number 7. Hitting eighth at shortstop, Ron Oster. And batting ninth and pitching, right-hander Tom Seaver. Again for the Reds, it's Collins in center field, Kennedy at second base, and Griffey in right field. Foster in left field, Dreesen at first base, Knight at third. With Bench catching, Oster at shortstop, and Seaver pitching. For the Philadelphia Phillies, to lead it off, Pete Rose at first base. Meg McBride will play right field and bat second. Hitting third, the third baseman, Mike Schmidt. Batting fourth in left field, Greg Luzinski. Hitting number 5 and catching, rookie Keith Moreland. Hitting sixth in center field, Gary Maddox. Manny Trio will play second base and bat seventh. Hitting eighth, the shortstop, Ramon Aviles. And batting ninth and pitching for the Phillies, right-hander Larry Christensen. Once more for the Phils, it's Rose at first base, McBride in right field, Schmidt at third base. Luzinski in left field. Moreland catching, Maddox in center field. In the bottom third again, we'll have Trio at second, Aviles at shortstop, and Christensen on the mound. Big right-hander sends it in, and it's swung on and fouled back for a strike, and this game is underway. Collins, Kennedy, and Griffey here in the top half of the first inning. Reds remaining 2 back of the Dodgers last night, who continue to roll along. Steve Garvey with a home run power. Collins fouls it back, strike 2. Garvey and Reggie Smith hit L.A. home runs en route to a 4-3 win over the Cardinals, while Houston defeated New York 3-2, so the Reds remain in a virtual tie, but percentage points behind second place Houston. Both clubs are 2 games behind Los Angeles. 2 strikes on Collins. Pitch is taken down and in. It bounds away from the young catcher Keith Moreland, and Collins with a count of a ball and 2 strikes. Reds after the win last night, 21-15. The Phillies are 16-15. Collins with a 15-game hitting streak. The pitch to him, and that swung on and missed. Christensen gave him a lot of motion, dealt him an off-speed pitch that completely fooled Dave, and is one away. That'll bring up Junior Kennedy, who for the second time on this road trip had a 4-hit game. He had 4 last Friday in Montreal, went 4 for 5 last night, 2 doubles, a couple of singles, and 2 runs scored. Pitch to him is low and away for a ball. As a result, Kennedy now batting .310 with a home run and 15 RBIs. Christensen, a quick worker. Kennedy takes it high, ball 2, 2-0. Defensively for the Phillies, it's Rose, Trio, Aviles, and Schmidt at first, second, short, and third. 2 out of the plate. That's high and tight, ball 3. Luzinski in left, Maddox in center, McBride in right, and as we mentioned, first look that we have seen of Keith Moreland as a Philadelphia catcher. Ball 4. After Collins strikes out, Kennedy is walked by Christensen on 4 straight. That'll bring right fielder Ken Griffey to the plate. Kenny batting .280. He's homered twice. He's knocked in 16 runs. And against Philadelphia pitching 3 for 16. 3 RBIs. He had a couple of runs batted in last night's game. The Rose holding against Kennedy at first with 1 out as Christensen stretches and pitches, and Griffey takes a strike knee high on the inside part of the plate. There's a throw to first base. Kennedy is back. Mike Schmidt backing up now at third base as Christensen pauses at the belt. Kennedy goes. Pitch is swung on. Hit up the middle. Off the second base bag. The ball careens into left field. And Kennedy will come on to third. Junior was breaking on the pitch. Aviles went toward the bag to cover. The ball was shot by Christensen. And Aviles stabbed at it. Couldn't get it. Ball hit the bag. Bounced into left field. A single for Griffey, and Kennedy goes to third.
Marty, it looked like we're going to catch a bad break there for the moment. Vilas, as you said, covering, and he was there, but thank goodness the ball hit the bag and took rather a funny bounce, winding up in left field.
So the Reds are knocking on the door, first and third, one out, and George Foster stepping in. Reds got to Dick Ruthven last night for 2 runs in the first inning. And they've got a chance to put some markers on the board here in the first tonight against Larry Christensen. Foster batting .258, 4 homers and 14 RBIs. Here's a pitch to the plate, and it's taken low and away, a ball. Outfield around toward left and deep for Foster. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Off-speed pitch up. Christensen even on George, and a ball and a strike. Reds have now beaten the Phillies 3 games in the 5 played, 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati, and 1-1 here at the Vet. Foster swings on that pitch and doesn't get it. George has had a couple of weak hacks at Larry Christensen's strike pitches to fall behind at 1-2. Danny Dreesen would be up next. Phillies are hoping for the ground ball that would result in a double play and get him out of the inning. Kennedy off the bag at third, Griffey at first. Christensen kicks and he throws. Foster takes it down and outside, 2-2. Dutch Rennert, our plate umpire. Steve Fields, Harry Wendelstedt, and Frank Pulley at first, second, and third. Rennert giving Christensen a new baseball to play with. Collins has struck out, but Kennedy drew a walk. Griffey has had a single. And the 2-2 on the way to the plate. Foster takes high, and the count goes full. Well, we'll see what Ken Griffey has in mind here with a count of 3-2 on Foster. Bouncing off the bag against Rose, and there's a throw to first. Not in time. Griffey back with the right hand. Keith Moreland hanging a sign. And the payoff pitch with Griffey going is strike 3 call. Throw down to second, not in time. Foster caught looking as Griffey steals second base here, 2 away.
Marty, Christensen throwing a breaking ball, a good pitch for 3-2. I tell you, almost a perfect pitch. Just looked like a slider that was down and away, and I don't think Babe Ruth would have expected something like that, 3-2. Maybe not. Maybe he'd hit it. I don't know.
That's the 7th steal of the year for Griffey. So Danny Dreesen now needs a big 2-out base hit here to get the runs across, and Moreland and Christensen having some problems. Larry signals for the catcher to come out. They meet briefly, and now it breaks up. 33rd stolen base of the season for Cincinnati and 38 attempts. Reds have had an outstanding percentage in that department. Dreesen with 22 RBIs to go with a .243 batting average. Pitches low and inside, ball 1. Danny has hit safely in 11 out of his last 12 games, hitting at a .319 clip during the period. And now Moreland back to the mound along with second baseman Manny Trio. Ray Knight would be the next batter if Dreesen can get on and keep the inning going. We're in the top half of the first inning, no score, but the Reds are threatening with Kennedy at third and Griffey now at second. Dreesen waving the bat around. Christensen rocks, kicks, and fires. Danny checks his swing. That cost him a strike. Well, Christensen throwing quite a few breaking balls with good success in the first inning. 1-1 on the way. Inside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Outfield pretty much straight away for Dreesen. And that's down in the dirt. Ball 3. Moreland can't find it, but the ball just trickles off a few feet to his left. Christensen working carefully to Danny Dreesen as a pitch away from walking him to load the bases for Ray Knight. 3-1. Danny with 3 home runs. 1 against the Phillies. He checks his swing. That's ball 4 inside. And that's going to load him up as the third baseman Knight comes to the plate. So Larry Christensen has issued his second walk of the inning. That brings up the top run producer on the Reds club. Knight has driven in 24. He's hit 5 homers. And and is batting at .276, but only 2 for 17 against the Phillies this season. He takes a ball down and away. Ray was 0 for 4 last night, had a single and a double in 4 trips and 2 runs scored in the opening game on Monday night. That's a strike call. Count evens up to him at 1-1. Christensen working to get out of a first inning jam, trying to keep the Reds off the board. Knight fouls it back, and it's a ball, 2 strikes. Johnny Bench and the on-deck circle. Ray Knight out away from the plate, behind 1-2 to Larry Christensen and the Phillies here in the first inning. Third baseman digging in. Christensen with a pitch, and Knight swings and loops it foul back of first. Rose running toward the seats and will not be able to make the play on the ball. Pete reaching over the railing and having the ball falling into the box seat area well down beyond the Philadelphia dugout. Rose giving it one heck of a chance, as he always does, but simply was not able to get there in time before the ball fell into the seats. So the count holds at 1-2 on Ray Knight. Christensen sights a sign, pours it home. Knight takes a fastball high, 2-2. Ray owns one of 2 Grand Slam home runs the Reds have hit this season. The other, of course, belonging to Junior Kennedy. Kennedy third, Griffey second, Dreesen first. Knight fouls it past the Reds dugout, down along the area occupied by the photographers here at Veterans Stadium. Holding at 2-2. Outfield playing Knight straight away. Christensen back. Knight swings and hits one along the right field line. Rose going out, McBride coming in, foul ball. Ball falling between Pete Rose going out and McBride coming on, and Ray's bid for an extra base hit that may well have scored 3 runners goes foul along the right field side, and everybody goes back to their original positions with a holding count at 2-2. So the battle continues between Larry Christensen and Ray Knight. Pitch. Swung on, line drive, left center field, base hit. Ball gets by the center fielder Maddox. 1 run scores. Griffey coming home. On to third base comes Knight. Onto the plate comes Dreesen. A 3-run triple for Ray Knight. And Cincinnati leads Philadelphia 3-0. Hard to say whether or not Gary Maddox played that ball very well. It looked like he really got caught in that no man's land. The ball took the bounce and kicked by him before he could really get there. Hence a 3-base hit for Knight, and 3 runs are home.
Marty, I think Gary thought he was going to catch it, as you said, when he broke for the ball, and then he, as you again pointed out, got to no man's land, and where he tried to short hop the ball. Of course, it just skidded right through him.
Here's Johnny Bench, and he looks at a strike. So Ray Knight jumps his RBI total to 27 with that 3-base hit. Bench checking on a breaking ball, low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. John with a home run here in the opening game Monday night fouls this one back to the screen. Christensen had 1-2. That's the 3rd triple of the year for Knight. Pitch to Johnny Bench. That's missing a breaking pitch. 2-2. Bench hitting .208. 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. He took Carlton out of here straight away Monday night with a man aboard. Swing and a foul. Christensen trying to get out of a rocky first inning. Bench trying to score Knight from third base. Swung on, fly ball left field. Moving toward the line is Greg Luzinski. He hauls it in fair territory, and that ends the inning. But the Reds get 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors and 1 left. After a half inning of play, the Reds 3 and the Phillies are coming to bat.
Ron Oster on deck. Bench takes ball 2 down low, and count 2-0 to Johnny. Now John Vukovic heads to the Philadelphia bullpen, and we might see some activity down there. Two balls, no strikes. Knight at first, Dreesen at third, nobody out. Christensen the stretch, the pitch. Bench takes ball 3 high and outside. Larry Christensen a pitch away from loading him up for Ron Oster. 3-0 delivery. Bench has a green light and rifles it down the left field line. That'll be extra bases. The ball gets by Greg Luzinski. 1 run scores. Knight makes the turn at third. He'll score easily as Bench coasts into second, and it's a 7-5 ball game. So John jumping on the 3-0 pitch, and I mean he hit a rocket down the left field line. For John, his 4th double of the year, and it gives him now 9 RBIs. Knight scoring all the way from first base, Dreesen from third, and the batter will be Ron Oster. The Reds within 2, and Herm Starrett, the pitching coach of the Phils, making his way to the mound to have a word with Keith Moreland first, and the 2 of them walk toward the mound. Oster takes high and inside a ball. Ron with 2 doubles on the year, hitting .231. Christensen delivers. Oster swings and pulls it into right field, a base hit. I don't think it'll score Bench as Russ Nixon holds him up. So runners first and third, still nobody out, and the batter will be, we'll see, as Mario Soto being called back, and it looks like Hector Cruz will go to the plate to hit for Soto. So here in the inning. Bench at third, Oster at first base, and Hector Cruz will be the hitter. LeGros the stretch. He delivers, and Cruz takes it high and inside a ball. Dave Collins, the on-deck batter. 7-5, Phil's lead. LeGros sets, checks the runners, and the pitch. Low and inside, it's 2 balls, no strikes to Hector Cruz. Larry Christensen worked 3 innings plus, allowed 6 hits, struck out 4, walked 2, and the 5 runs, all earned runs. And of course, Oster and Bench, his responsibilities. LeGros, the 2-0. Cruz takes ball 3 inside. Laren LeGros, a pitch away from loading him up for Dave Collins. Of course, last night, Dave with a big hit. And 2 walks loaded him, and Davey singled to center to drive in 2 runs in the 6th inning. The pitch. Ball 4 inside. The bases are loaded for Dave Collins. 3rd walk of the game by Philadelphia pitching. Dave Collins, first 2 times up tonight, has struck out. And went down swinging both times to the plate against Larry Christensen, and, well, this is a strange move. I guess Dallas Green figures that Kevin Saucier can pitch better to Dave Collins and Laren LeGros, and he's at the mound asking for the ball from LeGros, and Kevin Saucier will come on to face Dave Collins. That'll turn Dave around, of course, and he'll be hitting right-handed against the left-handers. Saucier, Junior Kennedy on deck, and now Ron Reed starts throwing in the Philadelphia bullpen. Saucier, the stretch, the pitch. Collins swings and bounces it to Trio at second. The throw to first, not in time, going to Vilas to try to complete the double play, but not in time as Ben scores from third base. Moving on to third is Ron Oster. Cruz Forrest at second. 3-0 to Aviles. One away, and Junior Kennedy the batter. Had it Collins with an RBI. His 12th of the year. That run charged to Christensen, and it's a 7-6 ball game. Oshie a throw over to first. Collins steps back. Kennedy has walked, grounded to third. The pitch, curveball, is outside. Ball one. Geronimo on deck, hitting in Ken Griffey's spot. Saucier, the pitch. Swung on and looped to Trio. Quick throw to first. Double play. Davy Collins not paying attention to his job, and that winds up a double play, and a good job by Kevin Saucier. The Reds got 3 runs in the inning on 4 hits. There's no errors and a runner left on base, and at the middle of the 4th, Philadelphia 7, Cincinnati 6. Pitch swung on and pulled foul off to the left, and Ron Reed quickly in front of George Foster. No balls, 2 strikes. Foster, Dreesen, and Knight scheduled here in the 7th inning. Tied up 7-7. Reds have out hit the Phils 10-9. Ron Reed delivers. Foster swings and bounces this one foul off to the right. Grabbed by Boone. Kevin Saucier worked 3 innings, allowing 4 hits. He walked 1, and the 1 run, an earned run, did not strike out anyone. 0-2 to Foster. Reed winds and delivers. Swung on and bounced to Mike Schmidt at third. Double pumping, throwing on to Rose, and that's 1 away. 1 down. Danny Dreesen, the batter. Dan 1 for 2. Walked in the first and scored. Had a single off Christensen's glove in the 4th and scored. And then the 5th inning, a fly ball to Maddox in center field. Reed works. Dreesen takes up high. A fastball, 1-0. Pitch. Swung on and missed. Good change and had Danny way out in front. Down evens 1-1. Reed back with the 1-1. Down low. Count 2 balls, 1 strike to Danny Dreesen. We have a ball, 2 strikes on the board. Reed works. Dreesen takes. That's ball 3. 3-1 to Danny Dreesen as he asks Dutch Renard what the count is, and Dutch points 3 balls to strike. Pitch on the way. Dreesen takes ball 4 down low, and Danny a 1-out base runner. Dreesen at first. Ray Knight the batter. Ray 2 for 2 and a walk tonight. He drove in 3 of the 7 runs with that triple with the bases loaded in the first inning. Dreesen off the bag at first. Reed the stretch and the pitch. Knight takes a slider on the outside edge. A call strike. Dreesen 5 steals in 7 attempts. The 0-1. Knight swings, lines it down the right field line. That's extra bases. Dreesen around second. On his way to third. Playing the ball is McBride. Being waved in is Danny Dreesen. Here's Manny Trios throw to the plate. Not in time. On his way to third, Ray Knight. And the Reds lead it 8-7. They're going to give Ray Knight a 3-base hit. His second triple of the game. And it gives Ray now 4 RBIs on the game. A total of 28 on the year. Moves him into second place. Or tied, yes, well, tied with Bake McBride for second place. Ray now leads the league in triples with 4. So Ray Knight slashing one down the right field line, and the Reds with a chance to pick up another run as Johnny Bench steps in. Reed sets and delivers. Bench half swing. Did he go too far? And Dutch Rennert says yes as he raises the right hand. Danny Dreesen scoring his third run of the game. Bench takes inside a ball, and it's 1-1. That's the second time tonight that Dan has had to score from first base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tug McGraw starts throwing in the Philadelphia bullpen, and Bench swings and grounds one foul that bounces into the Cincinnati dugout. The Reds lead 8-7. Reed works. Bench, does he go too far? And Dutch Rennert says he did, and that's a strikeout for Ron Reed. They'll bring Ron Oster to the plate. You might see him intentionally pass Oster and pitch to Tommy Hume. We'll wait and see what Dallas Green decides to do. And it looks like they're going to pitch to Ron Oster, and whether he gets anything good to hit out or not, we'll see. The pitch. And a strike called. Ray Knight at third base, 2 out. Reed sets and delivers. Oster takes it inside, breaking ball. And the count evens 1-1. Reds now with 11 hits in the game. 1-1 delivery. Swung on and missed. Good fastball up, and it's a ball, 2 strikes to Ron Oster. Ron has had 2 hits and 3 times up tonight. Pitch on the way, down low, the breaking ball, 2-2. Oster lined to short in the second, single to right in the fourth, and double to right center in the sixth, going out at third, trying to stretch it into a triple. Pitch on the way. Swung on, ground ball, and Rose a diving stab behind the bag, throwing to Reed and a getting. So Ron Oster hit the ball hard, but a fine defensive play by Pete Rose as he fields the ball with a dive going into foul territory and then throwing to Ron Reed to retire Ron Oster. So the Reds in the inning, they get 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors. 1 runner left on base. The middle of the 7th. Reds 8, Phillies 7.
Outfield is deep and playing the pull. The infield deep and spread out. Hume's first 9th inning pitch, and Schmidt looks at a strike. Tommy has allowed him only 1 hit. That was a Luzinski single in the 6th inning. Since then, he's retired 7 in a row. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball. Strike 2. We'll have Luzinski next, and then a pinch hitter, in all likelihood, Del Unser. He's been one of the more effective pinch hitters in the National League this season. 2 strike coming, and missing high and away. Hume 3 outs away from his 4th win of the year. 1-2 to Schmidt. Breaking ball, low and outside, 2-2. Knight deep, guarding the line at third. Dreesen deep, playing well off the line at first. Schmidt basically a pull hitter. He grounds 1-2. Knight, the ball took a bad hop. Goes fine into left field. Schmidt takes a turn. Here comes the throw to second, not in time. Or is it? He's safe. A bad hop double. Over the glove of Ray Knight. George Foster gunning a throw into Junior Kennedy. And Schmidt coming in the side door. That was a question of momentarily of whether or not he would be able to get to the bag before Kennedy was able to get the tag down. So Tommy Hume will really have to bow his back now as he and the Reds got a rough fake. Ball apparently hitting the seam in the AstroTurf and kicking over the glove of Ray Knight. Greg Luzinski, 2 for 3, a home run and a single. Tying run at second, nobody out. Crowd really coming to life here at the vet. Ball one. Del Unser is on deck. Schmidt backing off the second base bag. Tommy Hume looks back that way, sends in the 1-0. That's high, ball two. Two balls, no strikes. The kick and the pitch. Swung on, line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes the runner rounding third and on to the plate, and we've got a tie ball game. A double by Schmidt, a single by Luzinski, an 8-8 tie. Tommy Hume getting behind 2-0 and had to come in with a fastball. And Luzinski drives home the tying run, and the batter will be Del Unser. Lonnie Smith goes in to run at first base for Luzinski. And Del Unser now will get together with third base coach Lee Elia. Unser has had quite a series himself off the bench. He had a pinch hit double in the 3-run seventh that decided it for the Phillies on Monday night. He had a pinch hit single last night. And you've got to think that manager Dallas Green will have Del up there trying to bunt here to get the winning run over to second, but we'll have to wait and see. Left-handed batter. Lonnie Smith at first. The pitch is wide of the plate for a ball. Phillies have tied it up, and now they're trying to win it with nobody out. Lonnie Smith at first, and Hume with a 1-0 pitch to Del Unser. Here it is. That's a ball, 2-0. Del Unser swinging away. Got Doug Bear throwing in the bullpen. Ray Knight about even with a bag at third base, but now starting to back up. Unser hitting .381. That's ball three. Tommy Hume about to dig himself into a deep hole. Needs a strike. And cannot get it. Unser walks. John McNamara out of the dugout. That's going to be it for Tommy Hume. Now, Greason will play in, so will Ray Knight. Gary Maddox at the plate. He's had 2 hits in the game. He squares the bunt and fouls it off. That pitch was up and in. Now the meeting will take place again on the mound, and in a situation like this, they meet after almost every pitch to decide what play will be on the infield. That is to say, who will be going where. Strike one pitch. Maddox bunts foul. The count goes to 0-2. Well, Tommy Hume would dearly love to be able to get a strikeout, or at the least, should Maddox bunt the ball fair, have a play at third base on Lonnie Smith. On deck, Manny Trio. 0-2. Hume with Maddox. Here's a pitch. Swung on, popped in the air. Right field. Dave Collins should have no problems with this one. He makes a catch and will hurry that throw back into the infield as everybody stays where they are. 1 out. So Gary Maddox, failing twice to bunt the ball, swings away on the 2-strike pitch and flies to right. Now Manny Trio, who's walked twice, has struck out and bounced to shortstop. Very, very pesky hitter, this young man. Good speed at second and Smith. The pitch to Trio is low, ball 1. Infield now at double play depth. Ronnie Oster trying to keep Smith close to second. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on foul straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. The late innings have really hurt the Reds on this road trip. 1 ball, 1 strike. The kick and the pitch. Swung on, line drive, right field. Collins, he has the ball go off of his glove. Lonnie Smith will score, and the Phillies win it. Dave Collins mishandling a line drive in right field, allowing Lonnie Smith to come around with a winning run. Had he been able to catch that ball, it was a short double play, but Collins mishandles it. And here in the 9th inning, the Philadelphia Phillies, on the base hit by Luzinski to tie it up, Dave Collins commits an error on the line drive off the bat of Manny Trio, and the Phillies won it by a score of 9-8. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, the night started off well for the Reds after scoring a 1-run win over the Phillies last night. The Reds came up with 3 runs in the first off Larry Christensen tonight, a 1-out walk by Junior Kennedy, a base hit by Ken Griffey, and a later walk to Danny Dreesen loaded him up. Our star of the game, Ray Knight, then pounded a triple to left center, and the Reds were leading 3-0. That lead proved to be short-lived because Tom Seaver simply could not throw strikes in the bottom half of the first. After giving up a 1-out hit to Bake McBride, he walked Mike Schmidt and Greg Luzinski to load him up. He popped up Keith Moreland for the 2nd out, but then Gary Maddox singled to right center, making it 3-2. Manny Trio got a base on balls, and Ramon Aviles walked to force in the tying run before Christensen popped up to end the inning. The Phillies drove Seaver out of the game in the second. 1-out base hit by McBride got him started again. He was later thrown out stealing, but then Mike Schmidt doubled. Greg Luzinski pounded a 2-run home run, and Keith Moreland hit his first major league homer to give the Phillies a 6-3 lead. They got another run in the 3rd inning off of Mario Soto, and it was another first-timer. In this case, Ramon Aviles with a home run over the left field wall, his first in the big leagues, and the Phillies led 7-3. Reds got to within a run by scoring 3 in the 4th inning. A hit by Dreesen, a single by Knight, a 2-run double by Johnny Bench made it 7-5, and a later force out by Dave Collins got another run in to make it 7-6. The Reds then tied it up in the 6th inning on a double by Oster, who was thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. That was a strange inning. Pinch hitter Rick Auerbach then tripled to right center field and later scored on a bloop double down the right field line by Junior Kennedy off Pete Rose's glove to tie it up. The Reds went out in front of the 7th inning on a 1-out walk to Dreesen, and Ray Knight's 2nd triple of the night, his 4th of the year, to give him the National League lead in that department. It remained that way, 8-7 Reds. Tommy Hume wiggled out of a 2-out jam in the 6th inning and then retired 7 batters in a row until the 9th when Mike Schmidt hit that bad hop triple over Ray Knight's glove to begin it. Greg Luzinski hit a 2-0 pitch to left field for a single to tie it. Then Del Unser pinch hitting for Ron Reed drew a base on balls. Gary Maddox fly to right field. And then the play that ended it. Manny Trio had a line drive to right. It was a definite double play if Dave Collins could have caught the ball because pinch runner Lonnie Smith was that far off of second. But Dave Collins could not handle the ball. He erred it. Smith came around to score the winning run for Philadelphia. The Phillies had 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors, and 9 left. The Reds with 8 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors, and 7 stranded. Reed the winner, 2-0 on the year. Tommy Hume the loser, 3-4. The Reds are now 21-16 on the season. The Phillies are 6-17-15. Both clubs have an off day tomorrow, and needless to say, both clubs are hoping that is the only off day they're going to have as far as the schedule is concerned. The Reds are scheduled to play Montreal at Riverfront Friday night. The Phillies are scheduled to remain home and meet the Houston Astros in the first of a weekend series, also opening on Friday night. 2 National League games scheduled tomorrow night, 4 in the American League, pending on what happens tomorrow in the negotiations between ownership and the players. It could be an off day for those clubs mentioned, and back at it Friday night. Tomorrow could be the final day of Major League Baseball for an undetermined amount of time. The strike deadline is midnight tomorrow night. Everybody in the game, players, front office, management, broadcasters, and certainly you fans are all hoping that something can happen of a positive nature tomorrow to get a contract signed and keep baseball going in 1980. As we mentioned earlier, we'll have programming for you in the event there is a strike, a 2-hour special if the strike comes on a strike from 8 to 10 on many of these same stations Friday night beginning at 8 o'clock. Both sides of the issue will be discussed in detail, both management side and the player side, and then Saturday afternoon, Joe and I I will be at Mile High Stadium in Denver to broadcast the Indianapolis Indians-Denver Bears game at a time to be announced later, and more baseball programming will be on tap on Sunday. If we continue playing, we'll be on the air at 7:35 Friday night as Mike Lacoste scheduled to go against Montreal left-hander Bill Lee in the first of a 3-game weekend series. Until then, once again, the final score tonight in a game that took 2 hours and 47 minutes to play before a crowd of 26,099, the Phillies 9 and the Reds 8.